Hey guys, what's up? Shamar here, and today I'll be bringing you guys another tutorial. And today we're going to be learning how to do the Luma bars transition. So what exactly is this transition? Well, pretty much it's a transition that we use solids to make, and pretty much what happens in this transition is the solids are transparent and you can see just a little bit of the next clip, and at the end the final clip will be revealed. So I'll give you guys an example of this really quickly. I'm just going to ram preview. Actually, before I do that, let me turn off the sound because I don't want you guys to hear that. Alright. Yeah, pretty neat tutorial to the transition, sorry. So, 1 second. Alright, so as you can see, when you're doing the transition, it starts off from the top, going all the way down, then diagonal, and going all the way up. And then finally showing our next clip. Now, you can be really complex with this. You can use this transition in a lot of ways and a lot of fun things you can do, but I'm just going to show you guys just the basic way to apply this. Starting off, we're going to make a new composition. Just make sure it's the same comp size as the one you're working in to make everything easier. Doesn't matter how long it is, it's whatever, right? So we have our new composition, right? And just to make it a little easier, we'll put it on transparent for now. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to hit Control Y or Command Y, and we're going to make a new solid. So our first solid is going to be black. Alright, and to keep everything organized, we're going to make our solids in the order that they're going to be used. So this is going to be the first one, so we'll make it first, and I'll just change it to 1. Alright, and we're going to make the height, just keep the width the same as the composition because that's what you want it to be, and we're going to change it to about 200. So as you can see, it's a little skinny. It's not super skinny, but it's a little skinny. So this is going to be our first one. Okay, starting off with our first one, we're going to hit position. Alright, and at the beginning we're going to keyframe it, and let's just zoom out a bit, zoom out so we can see it a little bit. We're going to move this all the way up to the top, just to the edge. Alright, that is our first one, and depending on how long you want it to be, I want ours to be around 3 to 4 seconds, so I'm going to move about a second. Okay, just around here, and then I'm going to bring this all the way down just to the end. Alright, that is our first one, and if you move across, you'll see that it's going down. Alright, now what we're going to do for our next one is we're going to hit Control Y again, same exact thing, but now we're going to change up the size a bit. Let's make this one about 100, or you know, let's do about a 150. Yet it really depends how you like it. So you know what, I want a 250 for this one. Let's try that. So just gotta experiment with the size that you like. So this one is gonna be the diagonal one. Alright, so it's kind of like a scanner bar. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this one under. You can rename it later, but I'm just gonna rename it right now just to make it a little easier. I'm gonna hit rotate. I'm gonna rotate it to the angle that I want. So I kind of wanted to cover the whole screen. I'm gonna move it all the way up here, right? And this is gonna be its starting position. I'm going to line up the anchor point. I'm going to scale it in a bit just so it covers the whole thing. Move it up a little more. Alright, and we're not going to keyframe this just yet. We're going to wait for the right positioning. So when our first slider bar gets down to like around here, we're going to set this in our position into a keyframe. So we're going to keyframe it there. And what we're going to do now, same exact thing. We're going to rinse and repeat and go down to another second, or roughly around there, and we're just going to bring this across diagonally. Alright, and if you see it as we go, we have the first part of our transition. We have the 1, then we have the 2. Alright, now we're going to add our third part. Same thing again, Control Y. This one's going to be 100. Alright, from there, this little strip is going to be here. Going to just bring this down here once again to make it a lot easier. Same exact thing. We're going to go up to, you know, I want to make this a little bigger. Sorry about that. 150. 150 seems a little better. Alright, once again, we're going to bring it down here. We're going to bring, just when this is about to go, that's we're going to keyframe it. So right here, for this positioning, this one's going to come from the bottom because our first one came from the top. So right about here would be good. Going to keyframe it right there. Alright, and once again, all the way to the top. Oh, wrong way. And just to make it a little easier on ourselves, we're going to zoom out. Okay, and now we just need to add our last part. So we have 3 of them now. We have our 1, 2, and we have our 3. Now we're going to add the last one that reveals our whole composition. One last time, I'm going to hit Control Y, but this time we're going to hit Make Composition Size. Alright, and this is our last one. It's our solid. So what we're going to do now, we're going to turn this off just so we can see where we get to. So we're going to go to like right around here. Right around here. Zoom in so we can see our comp better. Alright, now we're going to hit Position, same thing. We're going to keyframe it. Well, before we keyframe it, what we're going to do is we're gonna keyframe the horizontal slider. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it come from this side, so it's gonna come from the left to the right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the beginning of our number and we're just gonna put a negative sign. That way it'll automatically go to the side right here. As you can see, it's all the way right there. Alright, I'm gonna hit keyframe again, and all we're gonna do, I'm gonna make this one like half a second, and we're just gonna put 710. And it will automatically go back to the center. Alright, now we're done. We're gonna hit F9 or right click, then keyframe assistant and easy ease to make it a little more smoother. And we have our whole transition so far. Alright, so that's really good. And just to end it off, we need to add a white solid. Now this part is important. You need to have a white solid that is covering the bottom of everything. So we're gonna put this right there, have our white solid, and everything is good. Okay, now we're gonna go back to our main composition. We're going to delete this one because we have a new one. We're going to put our composition 3 right on top. Now we're going to go to the beginning of our composition. So as you can see, the white is covering our whole scene, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do now, I already had it selected, but I'm going to go to the clip that's right on top, right? That's this clip, our beginning clip. From there, what we're going to do, if you don't have your stuff switched, just hit toggle switch to modes. From there, you're going to have our something that says none. Right there, you're going to click. You're going to go to Luma Matte Comp 3. Now what this is going to do, this is going to make lighter colors be more transparent, or be less transparent, and darker colors be completely transparent. And you'll see what I mean. So I Luma Matte, and now you see the white's gone. But now when we're doing this, the bars that we created are revealing the composition under it because they're black, and black is the darkest you can go, so that's why it reveals that. So this is just the basic version of it and how it looks, right? Now, depending on the preference you have, you might not want it to be so dark. So a few things you could do is simply just change the opacity down. But this isn't as great because it doesn't really affect the bars as much. It affects the whole thing. So what we can do actually is go back to our comp where we made our bars, and we can just change the color of the Luma bars. So I'm going to hit Control Shift Y. And that's going to bring up the solid settings, and from here I can make the color, I can change it to be darker or lighter. So pretty much the rule how it goes with Luma bars is that if I want my Luma bars to be less transparent, I go lighter. If I want it to be more transparent, I go darker. So for the first one, I want it to be a little less transparent depending on the scene, so I hit right there. Okay, and as you can see in the composition, it will automatically change, and now you see it's a little different. It's a little more lighter, and this works with any color really. So don't worry, it doesn't matter if it's red, blue, or whatever. As long as it's lighter, it will be less transparent, and if it's darker, it will be more transparent. So let's continue to do the rest. Same thing. I'll go to this solid. Control Shift Y. Let's make this one more of a darker red. Let's go to the other one. We'll make this one more of a lighter red, like around here. And then the last one we'll leave completely black because we want it to be completely transparent. Go back to Comp 1. Now as you can see, it's a lot more cleaner, So we can render this actually to see what it looks like. And yeah. So when we're doing this, you can be really complex, but for the most part, you don't want to put too many bars for just no reason. You kind of want there to be a pattern. So as you can see, it went down, it went across, it's going to go up, and it's going to the side. You don't want it to go down, then side, like from the same direction. You kind of want to mix it up, but not make it be too much of a confusion, because it's supposed to be a clean transition. So it's just taking a while to render. And yeah. And then we have our next clip. So let's just watch it from here. As you can see. And yeah, there you go. So pretty clean transition. This is a transition you can use inside of your intros as well. So let's say if you have a intro and you want to like it's like looking at a person or whatever, and you want to have a little fade away to the next clip or the next picture or whatever, you can use this. And yeah, it's a really cool thing you could do. Just remember the principles of it. When you're using Luma, that means like all of the light parts will be less transparent and all the dark parts will be more transparent, because what's happening is the clip is taking the elements from here that are light and dark and applying them in the way that you want them to. So the same thing works with alpha, and when you do alpha matte, it's just the reverse. It's really just the reverse. So if all of my bars were white, it will do the exact same thing. Because I had it on Luma and I'm trying to make it see through on the darkness, the dark part of it, that's why the black bars would work. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy tutorial, pretty simple as well. Experiment with it, and yeah, just have fun with it and make it clean. Don't make it too confusing, and I'm sure you'll be really successful when you're using this transition. So this has been it. I'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.